Now for the boy loop is where we're gonna use our remote. So essentially, depending on which button we press, we're gonna make our robot move. So if we press the up button, we want a robot to move up. If we press the down button, we want a robot to move down. However, to make those decisions, we gotta know what our remote is sending. And the way we do that is we're gonna use the key data variable, but we're gonna set it equal to TV remote con data. And so what this is doing, this is the remote control sends a signal, and that signal gets called by this function, and then we're storing it in this variable. And so depending on the signal, we can make our if statements. Now, because our library takes into account that the code for each button can be pretty annoying to write, we have created keywords for them. So for example, key up stands for the up button, key D stands for the bottom button, and so on. So for key up, we're gonna use DC move to make our robot go forward. And essentially we're gonna use this for each robot. We're gonna check whether it's equal to that button. So for example, this one we're checking that it's equal to down, and then we're gonna set the speed, the direction to backwards like this. And it's pretty similar with the other keys, right? Okay, now in order to move left and right, we're gonna have to do a few, we're gonna have to do a slightly different than just using DC move. So in order to move with our trailer, because we have the hitch on the back, telling the motors to move in opposite directions does not actually work, because the trailer in the back causes it to not be able to spin. So instead, we're gonna tell each motor to do something different. We're gonna tell our motor 1 to be loose. So this is gonna allow the wheel to spin freely, but we're not powering it on. And we're gonna tell our motor 2 to spin clockwise, which is gonna be so it moves forward. So what this is gonna do is the robot's gonna move in a wide arc, but it's gonna be able to move in the left direction. If we put motor 1 to be counterclockwise or DC move left, our robot wouldn't be able to turn. It gets stuck in place. So by doing this, we're allowing the robot to turn easier. The right turn is actually pretty similar, because again, turning is not just as simple as using DC move. So instead of using a DC move, we're going to use DC motor, the function DC motor, smart method dot DC motor, and we're going to make one motor be loose and the other one move. But instead of like in the left one, we're going to have M1 move counterclockwise, and we're going to have M2 be loose. So our else statement is going to be that our robot is going to be in loose. Now we use loose instead of stop, simply because it allows us the robot to not kind of hold too roughly,